As the Marvel Cinematic Universe keeps growing bigger into multiverses, cosmic beings, and reality-breaking events, it risks losing something that once made it feel special. Early on, the MCU worked because the stories felt personal. The heroes were powerful, but the problems they faced were human. Lately, the spectacle has started to outweigh that intimately human feel. What the franchise needs now isn't higher stakes, it's a shift in focus. Street-level storytelling offers that reset, and no characters are better suited to anchor it than Spider-Man and Daredevil. After Spider-Man No Way Home, Peter Parker is left completely on his own. His friends don't remember him, the Avengers are out of reach, and the technology that once supported him is gone. He's back to sewing his own suit and listening to police scanners, fighting crimes that won't even make the news. For the first time in the MCU, Spider-Man feels truly grounded, and personally, I couldn't be happier. I love seeing this kid miserable. I know that's kind of a hot take recently, but I think Peter works really well when the whole world is against him and he still overcomes all odds. His struggles aren't about saving the universe anymore, they're about responsibility, isolation, and growing up. Peter has no one guiding him, no one challenging his instincts, and no safety net if he makes the wrong call. That's where Daredevil enters the picture. Matt Murdock's return in Daredevil Born Again brings a very different kind of hero back into the MCU. Matt has been doing this for a long time, and it shows. He doesn't just see crime as something to punch, he sees it as something built into the system. As both a lawyer and a vigilante, he understands how the law fails and how power protects itself. Where Peter acts on his emotions and inherently overwhelming optimism, Matt acts on his vast experience and caution. He keeps fighting not because he believes the city is going to change, but because he refuses to let it win. Keep in mind, Matt has been Daredevil a lot longer than Peter has been Spider-Man. What makes Spider-Man and Daredevil such a strong pairing is that they're missing what the other provides. Peter still believes he can make a difference, but he doesn't fully understand the system he's up against. Matt understands that system deeply, but he's lost faith in the idea that one person can fix it. And their connection doesn't need to be dramatic or announced with fanfare that waits for the applause in the theater. Either way, it should feel inevitable. They live in the same city, fight the same kinds of battles, and deal with the same consequences. Eventually, their paths would cross. That crossover doesn't need to happen through a massive event either. Street-level stories work best when connections happen quietly. Supporting characters like Foggy Nelson or Karen Page could easily exist on the edges of Spider-Man's world, just as media figures like J. Jonah Jameson already shaped the public perception for both heroes. These small overlaps make the universe feel alive, and they remind us that actions have ripple effects, that no hero operates in a vacuum. And the same principle applies to villains too. The threats that bring Spider-Man and Daredevil together don't need to be like world-ending, they just need to feel real. Organized crime, corruption, the exploitation are problems too big for one hero to solve alone. Spider-Man can stop the immediate danger, but Daredevil can attack the structure from behind it. And Matt doesn't just fight crime, he actively works to dismantle it from the inside out. Villains like Kingpin don't belong to just one hero's story, they belong to the city itself. I mean, there's a reason people are constantly arguing whether or not Kingpin is a Spider-Man or Daredevil villain. I mean, personally, I think he works better as a Daredevil villain, but that could just be me. By focusing on grounded antagonists, the MCU can create tension and urgency without sacrificing realism or character depth. Expanding the street-level world even further only works if each character brings something distinct to the table. Jessica Jones, the Punisher, and Moon Knight all represent different responses to the same broken system. Jessica is someone who is more reluctant to use her powers, but she knows that she has to. The corruption and crime has gotten so bad that she has no other choice. The Punisher shows what happens when someone takes this vengeance into their own hands, and Moon Knight complicates the entire idea of justice itself with his really skewed morality. When used carefully, these characters don't overcrowd the narrative, they deepen it. Their interactions with Spider-Man or Daredevil should change beliefs, not just add bodies to a team-up. When it's all said and done, the MCU doesn't need to keep getting bigger to stay interesting. Funny enough, it needs to get smaller. Street-level storytelling brings the focus back to the people, choices, and consequences. Spider-Man and Daredevil aren't just heroes who share a city, they represent two ways of confronting a world that doesn't play fair. People connect to real stories from other people. It's hard to relate to the Avengers when they're fighting aliens, but it's easy when Spider-Man is struggling with bills and Daredevil is having relationship issues. And even if they want to have those higher stakes, the X-Men are facing constant discrimination while also fighting those giant threats. They can have the big stake movies while they can still be grounded in a way that matters. Not by taking away all the charm and color, but by making them feel real. By leaning into the differences and grounding its stories in human stakes. The MCU can reconnect with what made it matter in the first place. Anyways, that's it from me. Like and subscribe, join the Discord server. Take it easy.